We're going to be mindful of everyone's time. Thank you all for joining us. We're very excited to have Bethany O'Hagan here from the Chautauqua Watershed Conservancy. And she's going to tell us some awesome factoids about the recycling initiatives that they have going on over there.
Bethany.
I'm going to pass this on to Bethany.
Wonderful. I was going to stand up. Can you see me if I stand up? Is that
Yes. I think we can, yeah.
Awesome, perfect. Hi, everybody. So
Hi.
I'm going to just tell you a little bit about myself to get going. So my name is Bethany O'Hagan, and I actually just moved here from Portland, Oregon, a little tiny bit over a year ago. And while in Portland, Oregon, I dedicated my entire life to waste minimization. And I worked for the city of Portland for a very long time. I actually implemented citywide composting. I did a pilot program for a whole year, and then once it was deemed that it was a doable situation, then we presented it to the city, and then we implemented it. I've done over 300 material sorts where companies will want to become like a zero waste, or if they want to become LEED or gold certified. So then what we would do is have them hold on to everything that they would normally throw into the garbage. Don't let their garbage hauler pick it up for anywhere from 4 weeks to like 6 months. And then we sort through it all to see how much could have been diverted from the landfill. And then based on that, we can say, well, you had this much that could have gone to the compost, or this much that could have gone to the recycling, and so on and so forth. So I've dug through garbage for basically like 8 years of my life. But now I'm here, and I work for Chautauqua Watershed Conservancy. And they don't have a huge recycling initiative going on, so this is more of a me project, but what recycling does for the environment falls right in line with what their views are, which is protecting waterways, ensuring that the lands stay healthy. So the more we put into the landfill, the more methane, and then the more things get, that whole cycle, and I'm sure we all know about that. So what I'm going to do is basically just a quick little overview of things that are and aren't recyclable. And I'm going to try and stump you all and give you good tips.
Yes.
Hopefully you know all of these things, and if not, then it'll be a good refresher or a good learning. So I'm going to basically just pulling things out of my little grab bag here and asking questions.
Very exciting.
All right, so we're going to start out with this. What do I do with this?
Recycle that bad boy.
Just like this? Is this what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this whole thing in the recycling?
Take the cap off.
Yes!
Oh.
I'm going to take the cap off. Does anybody know why I would take the cap off?
Plastic?
Yeah, the whole thing is plastic.
I never knew that. Okay.
So a material recovery facility, or as people in the industry call it a MRF, that's where all of your recyclables get sent, and it gets put through this huge conveyor system. And metal gets magnetized out, air and cardboard get blown out, plastics get basically tumbled through a crusher. And then they get baled, and then we send them to China. So these things right here are considered bombs. If this cap is on and it goes through a crusher, the caps will pop off, and people have lost eyesight. Not only that, but then if they're lightly screwed on and then they come off, they'll get stuck in between paper, or they'll get stuck in between cardboard, and then upon visual inspection, if anybody sees any of these, it could ruin an entire 2 ton of cardboard, where they'd have to just throw it out, because if they visually inspect any plastic, they have to throw it away.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So we should take the cap off when we're recycling?
Correct. You don't have to worry about that little plastic ring right here.
Okay.
It's just the cap.
Oh,
So the
okay.
cap on all of your products. On all of your plastic products, you have to take the cap off, and it goes in the garbage.
So what happens when people recycle that with the cap on and it gets to the facility? Do they have to throw away everything that was...
If they visually inspect it and they see it, then most of the time they have sorters.
Okay.
But most of the time it'll just get stuck in your recycling, and then they have to landfill
Just
it.
pitch it. Okay. Jeez. Okay.
I know. It's a lot of things called hopeful recycling is a big issue. It's a really big problem in the recycling world, where people want to be helpful, so they'll be like, I'm just going to recycle this. But there's a really big rule. When in doubt, throw it out. If you don't know for sure, put it in the garbage. Because if it's going to contaminate an entire load of recycling, then it's better for the clean recycling to go through than for it to be contaminated. Yeah.
Why would they throw away the whole load if a little plastic cap was found in
Well,
it?
so if they can remove it, so what it is it's a lot of all of our recycling gets like pressurized and it's put into big huge bales and then it's shipped, and then we ship it to where their processing facilities are. So we send plastic to plastic processing facilities, which is all in China. We don't have any in America yet. We're working on it. So you don't want to send cardboard to the plastic, because once they get there, then they get upset if you send them things that they don't want. Not only that, but then we pay our shipping and all of that for extra weight, and it's we've got it dialed down for how much things cost as well. So, if you send plastic to cardboard people, they're a lot more upset about getting plastic than the plastic people are about getting paper. So,
Okay.
it's not
Interesting.
fun. Yeah. All right, so another plastic one.
Drum roll.
Can you see?
Oh, okay. Little
Recyclable.
Horton cup.
Well,
Tim Hortons
Starbucks.
Starbucks cup.
I guess if it's dirty, they probably don't want it.
I would say
Uh-huh.
garbage.
Throw the whole thing in the garbage?
Yeah, is that what we're saying?
That's the
What's the
recycle.
little number on the
I don't
bottom?
know, it's
Oh,
plastic.
Oh,
Steve.
Steve, well done.
Steve, good
Astute
question.
observation.
TV, thank you,
Steve.
buddy.
The number on the bottom is a 1.
Oh,
Oh,
I can recycle that where I live, 1s and 2s.
Yes, but can you recycle it just like this?
No,
Oh,
you
we
gotta
take the
take the
top
top and throw it away.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
this darn cap.
Wow.
So what happens in these specific types of to-go containers? To-go containers are very, very, very hard. They're very difficult to tell. If it's plastic, if it's a plastic bottle or tub, you can recycle it if it's 1 through 5 in our area. So this is a 1. It also has to be clean. These are made from a lesser grade plastic. So what the numbers generally mean are that number 1 is like your truest form of plastic. It's been made, it's like a poly thread of plastic that is really, really pure. Then when you recycle it, they impregnate it with a lesser grade plastic. And then you end up getting your like 3s and your 4s and your 5s and your 7s and your 8s. And that means that they've been impregnated so many times with a lesser grade plastic that once you try to recycle it, you can't do anything with it.
Huh.
It's like trying to reuse saran wrap,
Yeah.
you know? You're like, it's just, you can't do anything with it. So 1s are really good. That means that they can do a lot with it. These are not, there's not even a number on this. So,
I never realized that I always just assumed that it was like a package deal. If the cup was recyclable, the top was. I'm
Yeah.
doing everything wrong.
it's okay. And even if these do have a number on them, they are not a plastic bottle or tub. So you
Okay.
cannot recycle them. So, all right. What about this?
Garbage.
Yeah.
I recycle it without the lid.
I'm gonna go recycling.
It's 2 different materials though.
Oh, Kitty is
That's
right.
awesome.
Well done, Kitty.
It's multiple types of materials.
So what do
Metal
we do?
bottom.
So yeah, it'll have a metal bottom and plastic siding, and sometimes they're coated in plastic, which sometimes that's okay, but when they're multiple types of materials, you can't recycle it.
Dang it.
Jeez.
We should be
Oh,
taking a
nice.
score on these.
All right, so what about this?
Oh, that's recycling.
Yeah,
No.
just like it is.
Mm-mm.
I'm not
If you
answering
take the
anymore.
lid
Can you take the
It's
top
got,
off?
it's got that rim.
Take
It
the
has
lid
the
off?
rim.
Well, the inside's
Take
all
the
metal,
lid
I
off?
think. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think there's mud on now. Ah.
Is that a
It's a 5.
multi-material? Oh,
what were you saying?
no, I was gonna say, is that another multi-material container?
It is.
Is it?
It is.
Okay.
It's got a metal ring, so you can't see it where you guys are, but it's got a metal ring and it's plastic.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, but it's true. This is garbage.
Oh.
It's not a
okay.
plastic bottle or tub.
Okay.
This is a plastic tub and it's a 5, but it's got a metal ring.
Oh,
So
shucks.
don't take them apart, because just throw it away.
Cut yourself.
Just throw it away. All right, what about this?
Recycle.
Oh, we can recycle it.
Recyclable.
Just like it
Recyclable.
is?
Take the
so.
paper off. Is there paper on it?
Yeah.
Put the
Probably gonna
lid
take the
inside the
paper
can.
off.
Make sure it's clean.
Make sure it's clean.
take the paper off like Heather said.
You don't have
The
to take
bottom has
any.
to come out.
You don't have to take any of the paper off. You put the lid
Oh.
inside of it, and the best thing that they want you to do is then squeeze
Crush
it,
Oh.
so
they
that
don't get cut.
Okay.
so that the lid doesn't come out.
Oh.
Oh,
So that
that's
this is gonna
nice.
get magnetized, and then it's gonna get molded down, and if it's inside of there, it's extra metal.
Yeah, okay.
And
All right,
And the
now it's
paper's gonna get burnt to an oblivion, so it doesn't even matter.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh, this is fun.
Told you she was great.
Absolutely.
Alright, what about this?
Multi-material. Get out of here.
Oh, it's got
Garbage.
plastic in the envelope.
It does have plastic in the envelope.
I don't know.
You could remove the plastic, but that's probably, just depends on how much work you wanna do, I guess. Not like it's a lot.
Throw it away. Throw it away.
That's, I like that. When in doubt, throw it
Get
out.
it out.
So, this is gonna boggle your mind, but this whole entire thing is recyclable.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
What?
So, the only thing you have to worry about in mail and in letters and stuff like this are credit cards.
Oh my goodness.
Everything else you have, you can just recycle it exactly how it comes.
Oh.
Or if it has like a metal binder ring on it, you can't, you know, because metal's the worst thing. So what they've actually started doing is making this into it's not a degradable, so it's not like a biodegradable plastic, but it's, it goes in high heat, really, it goes away really easily. It's not that, horrible acetate plastic that most of it used to be. So, there you go. That's whole recyclable. Oh, and I also, here's some handouts. These
Love
they're just
handouts.
papers.
Yes.
Cause it's
Recycle.
it's National Compost Week. I don't know if you guys know that.
Oh,
Oh.
that is a fun fact.
Yeah, so I brought some composting information. Alright, so what about this?
Take the cap off.
Is it, it's glass?
It's glass.
It's recycle.
we're recycling it.
Yeah. So take your cap off. What am I doing? What am I doing?
Throw
with
it
this?
away.
Yeah?
You can recycle the cap.
You can recycle the cap. This is metal.
Wow.
Because it's metal.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
you
metal.
can put any amount of metal like this in your recycling. It's pretty crazy. So the way that all of this comes out is in a really huge magnet, and the metal is actually worth a lot right now. So they want as much of your metal as possible.
Interesting.
And then yes, glass.
Glass.
We all know about glass. Yeah. All right. So what about this? This is my
Oh,
my
love 'em.
daughter's most favorite treat in the whole
Yeah,
world.
they're great.
Yeah.
What
it's
is
just a
We're gonna go
Oh, that's metal. Yeah.
pitch it because it looks like there's. Oh, is it metal on
Hinge.
top?
I don't know, I would
The
just
whole
throw it
thing's
away.
metal.
If it's all metal, let's recycle it all.
yes.
Yeah.
It's all metal. The whole thing
All
is metal.
metal,
You can just
right?
put the whole thing in a metal recycling bin.
Woo!
Nice. All right. Paper towel.
I'll
Oh,
recycle that bad boy.
Recycle. Yeah, recycle.
yeah. So
Recycle.
this is a huge. Here, let me try one more.
My cat loves
Let me try
those.
one more. How about this?
My cat
This is
loves
a
those
toilet-
even
a
more.
Is that a
Paper
toilet
one.
paper thing? Yeah, recycle. Right?
Yeah.
So
Paper.
these two are my biggest pet peeves.
Uh-oh.
Is when I go into a bathroom and I see these in the toilet or in the garbage.
Oh, yeah.
Not the toilet, sorry.
Toilet would be bad too.
I'm just checking toilets all over town.
It's the garbage. You probably go dumpster diving in the toilet too.
Yeah, no, because these are some of the most virgin types of paper. They cut down trees
Oh.
just for these, and it's not even usually made from recycled paper.
Oh.
Oh.
And then to see people just throwing them away because it's, you know, toilet stuff, and it's like, no, and think about, like, it's the cleanest part of a bathroom.
Yeah.
It's been covered in stuff that's
Yep.
like super, I mean, so it's just, these are very much recyclable. And they do
Yeah,
so
so they can be reused. We used them for a project.
look at that! Yeah, my daughter's using them as binoculars. So
Oh, that's cool, Kathy.
yeah. Alright, so another one of these.
Ooh! Recycle.
Oh,
Yeah.
metal.
Pinch it,
Recycle.
recycle it.
Crush
Nice.
it.
Yes! Put the lid in, pinch it, Hulk out on it, put it in the bin. Alright.
What is that?
Oh.
It's a little tiny like sauce container.
Maybe the bottom.
Yes. Does it have a number?
It
Yeah, what's
does
the
have a
number?
number. The top says 1 and the bottom says 5.
Wow.
Recycle
Wow.
the top.
Well,
throw
the
away the
top
bottom.
is not a container or a cup.
It's not a plastic
Oh,
bottle or
good.
tub.
So the top has to go away, but then we can recycle the bottom.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
Agree.
I
I
think
vote
so.
with Marcia, yeah, I vote for that.
So
We can do 1
there
through 5, right?
Wait,
actually is a limit of the size of a plastic bottle or tub.
Oh,
didn't know that.
Yeah. 3 ounces is the smallest that you can recycle for a plastic bottle or tub.
That's probably that.
That's
I
an
know,
interesting
and it's, this is
factoid.
a
That's
2
garbage.
ounce.
Why do they
Through
put that
Zoom.
number on there if you're not gonna recycle
Presume
it?
it is the 3 ounce.
Because it's been made from a recycled, that means that it's been used to make with recycled materials.
I
So
see.
it's not recycle it to this number, it's I've been created with this type of plastic.
Oh.
Because each number is a different type of plastic.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, a lot of people think, well, it has the chasing arrows on it, and it has a number, so like, it's telling me to recycle it.
That was me. That was my thought process forever.
It's okay, it's alright.
Oh,
Sound right?
Christmas.
I'm gonna say recycle.
Yeah, let's recycle
It might
Is
be a
that
little
paper?
waxy, but I think it's okay.
it. Oh,
I don't know.
I
what
don't
is
know,
that
there's-
material made of?
What is it?
Paper.
Paper.
Just paper.
It's just paper.
Recycle it.
It's just paper.
Beautiful
Recycle.
paper.
It's like, kinda like tissue paper almost, but a little bit thicker.
Yeah, recycle.
It is recyclable.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Good
but
job, Kathy.
Tissue paper isn't.
Oh,
Did you guys know
Why?
that?
no.
Yep.
Everything.
Because
But that
tissue
kind of paper, isn't that with food? So it's gonna have food residue on it, so you can't really recycle it, can you?
That's true.
Oh,
That's
good.
absolutely true.
Oh.
This is actually what was
Glory.
this was wrapped around toilet paper. It's just like thin, it's just thin paper.
Don't
But
put
you're
it in
right.
the toilet.
You can't recycle anything. So like pizza boxes that have any oil on it, you can't recycle those. Absolutely.
Oh, is that why?
Good job, Lori.
Okay.
That's why BQ makes them in the garbage.
I
Yeah.
see.
All right, a packing tape. The end of a packing tape.
I'm gonna go pitch it, cause
I think
Recycle.
recycle, cause it's cardboard.
is it made of 2 materials? Is that? Oh, that's paper. Recycle that.
Yes, it's
boy.
just paper. It's cardboard.
Okay.
So it goes in with your cardboard. So the best thing to
So
do is you
recycle.
just Hulk out. Just
Okay.
Hulk out on all your recycling. Just,
Absolutely.
smash it and then you put it in with your cardboard. So,
Okay.
alright.
Mm-mm.
Go,
That's
it's
plastic,
glass.
right?
It's 2 separate recyclings.
No, the
Oh,
lid's
it's- yeah.
But
nothing.
it's not a.
The lid's metal.
Okay, then
Oh.
Well, it's
recycle the
tin.
lid.
But
Probably
the
tin.
jar
The
might
jar
be
you can
recyclable,
recycle.
not the lid.
Both, you can recycle
I'm with
both.
Heather.
I
I
think
think
both.
jar
Bottle.
is recyclable, not the lid.
I think you can
I'd say
recycle
both are
some.
recyclable.
Yes, Kathy! They both are!
Kathy.
So this is metal. Yeah, you can put it in the metal bin and this is glass. Recycle it with your glass. Absolutely. I'm trying to throw you guys a curveball.
That
but it
was
didn't
good.
work.
That was good.
Okay, this is my last one.
Take the cap off.
Yes.
Throw the cap away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dirty garbage cap.
Dirty.
I don't know.
Recycle the
Recycle.
bottle.
Recycle.
Yes! All right. Good job, everybody.
And you could leave that like wrapper around it.
Yep,
You don't
you
gotta
can
mess
leave that
with.
little plastic ring on it.
No, I'm talking about like the
The label.
Oh yeah, the labels. Absolutely.
Labels?
Yep. Don't take labels off. That's
Okay.
like a early '90s thought.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, and that's that. So.
Man, I learned a lot just from
telling
that.
ya.
Does anybody have any questions? Mostly people have questions about like, well, I do this or I have this. Like, how can I, not do this? So, anybody, anything at all?
I always think of you when I'm about to throw something away, and I'm like, I'm gonna ask her, and then
You
I
should.
forget what it is.
Just text me.
Just send you
should.
pictures randomly.
I literally have that constantly. Still from people in Oregon, and I'm like, it's 1 in the morning here.
I have a
We're gonna
question.
Yes.
I have a question. Okay, so there's various hand sanitizer bottles that generally are plastic. Would you be able to recycle something that hand sanitizer came in like this?
Yep, you have to just unscrew the top. The top is garbage. And as
Okay.
long as it doesn't have a bunch of material inside of it.
Okay,
So, if it was
All
like
right,
a
thank you.
lotion container, you'd have to really make sure that it's completely empty. Austin, do you
Okay.
have a question?
Yeah, so if you don't have, like, obviously I don't think we can take these to like a can return place, and like if the town doesn't come pick up your recyclables, is there like another place that you can take it?
That's a good question.
Additional.
I don't know if you live in the county of Chautauqua, but there are 2 transfer stations. There's one
Mhm.
out in Ellery, and then
Mhm.
there's one out in
Faulkner.
Falconer. I get Falconer and
That's where we
Fredonia
go,
confused.
Yeah.
In Falconer, and they're open every single day,
Mm.
and you can just go in and there's no charge.
You can go online and find their hours too.
And they're
Yeah.
open
Sounds good.
Saturdays.
The one in Falconer I find has really interesting hours. They are not
They
like
do.
Monday through Friday night. You know, it's interesting. But
They do.
they have days that are just for contractors. But you can actually still go. You just have to go through a separate gate and then around and then go talk to the people. I've done it multiple times. So
Lori, your
Well,
feedback.
actually, they won't let you go on contractor days, which is Wednesdays and Fridays.
oh, if it's
Oh.
just recycling,
And they're noon to 3.
if it's just recycling,
Oh,
they
for
will.
recycling.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And
I
then
remember
Tuesday,
that.
Thursday, and Saturday, they're open 7 to 3.
Cool.
Perfect.
I've got Nancy Johnson, I've got a question.
Nancy, can you hang on a sec? Oh, thanks, Lori.
There we
You were
go.
doing a feedback loop.
There we go.
Okay, go ahead, Nancy.
Okay, we live out in the country and our trash is picked up by one of the big companies. And they just changed it over to dump all of the recyclables into one bin, except for glass, which they will not pick up. Are they actually recycling, or if people do it that way, do they just dump it in the, you know what I mean?
I understand what you mean. Absolutely. First off, that's really awesome that your garbage hauler is doing commingled recycling. That's really awesome. Here, I was actually taken aback when I just moved here and I found that it was a single stream. So I had to go out and buy a bunch of different roll carts to like put, so my house looks like a multifamily house, which is fine, but I have like a bunch of carts with all the different streams. So that's super awesome that you're able to put all of your recycling in one. Are you specifically asking about whether or not glass is recycled?
Yeah, well, no, the glass isn't, they won't accept
I
glass.
think she wants to make sure they're
But,
actually recycling.
Yeah.
Yeah, so depending on where you live, you might either live closer to Erie or Buffalo, but they have a commingled MRF, which is a multi-type of material recovery facility. So that means that they can accept a bunch of different stuff, and it goes through that system I was talking about before with like magnets and blowers and like tumblers and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So they probably really are recycling the company.
Yeah, definitely. Recycling is a really, really important commodity for money to be raised for cities and jurisdictions. So they really do want to take your recycling if they're doing it right.
Well,
There's I'm actually originally from Alaska, and it's not worth it to barge all of the recycling from an entire state down to the lower 48. So they unfortunately throw everything in the garbage. Because it's also like billions of dollars to create a MRF. So, and then
that's
Alaskans aren't quite on the recycling train yet. So,
So
yes.
how far away is the closest place that, what do you call it, you know, MRF or what?
Yeah, that does the communal recycling. So there's quite a few places in Buffalo. We've got a really rigorous amount of stuff in Rochester. There's a couple right south of us in Pennsylvania, and then Ohio has like a really, really big one. So I have it written down, but I don't have it on me. I'm sorry.
So isn't there a way to, like, instead of trucking it so far, to make a more small scale kind of place so each county can have their own?
Yeah, they just cost a lot, especially if you're gonna be making them small scale. You're not gonna want to build something that can do all of the streams, so you're gonna need to do individual streams, and there's not usually enough clean recycling to mitigate having an entire recycling facility for a small community, unfortunately.
Do you know, Jamestown has had a recycling program for a long time, but I don't know that I've ever thought that they make money on it. Do we know exactly how Jamestown manages their recycling stuff?
I do.
Would you share?
It's not good.
I was suspicious.
It's not
Spoiler
a happy-
alert.
This isn't a happy response. Yeah. So I'm an avid composter, like I had mentioned before, and I am trying to actually start a citywide composting and even a countywide composting for residential customers, residential homeowners, and possibly big businesses and stuff. And I called and I talked to the transfer station, and he wants all of the food in the garbage because it creates methane, and they're trapping the methane, and they're actually using it to power a lot of electricity for Jamestown.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Wow.
Also, they're not recycling our glass. I'm so sorry, but they're not. They're throwing it on the floor, and then they're crushing it with their loaders, and they said it makes really good roads in the transfer station. In the transfer
Wow.
station, so like it's a good way for them to drive their
A glass on the road, okay.
That's
Even if
interesting
we
that
take,
you-
cause they don't
Yeah.
take glass at the curb anymore, so even if I were to take it to Faulkner, they're just smashing it.
So basically,
I'm outraged.
everything I just taught you doesn't even matter. But it's
But
still
they're
good to
reusing
know.
They're reusing it
It's-
though?
Yeah, no,
It's
it's true.
purpose.
It's true.
I think they just send it to Jamestown Macadam?
I don't believe so. I talked to this guy named TJ, and he's the guy in charge of all of the transfer stations, and it's really expensive to send our plastics because.
No, I meant the glass.
Oh, is that what you meant, the glass?
Yeah. Doesn't it go to the asphalt place?
He said that they just dump it in the landfill and they crush it with their top loaders, and it makes really good
Oh.
roads for them to drive around their
Gotcha.
transfer station. So.
It's really interesting, the methane part though, because that can wreak havoc. Like methane itself can cause
It's an unstable source of
right
like it's dangerous.
climate change.
It's very dangerous.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, we just got this little pump connected to it, and I was like, he goes, you want to come to see it? I was like,
Did you?
kinda?
Yeah.
Not yet. No, I'm kind of nervous.
They need educated.
Yes.
We all do, yeah.
And I know that he wants to try and get more done, but it's, not a lot of clean participation. The streams are all really dirty and, hopeful recycling all over the place, and so
Well,
it's hard.
So the plastic that gets recycled, is that actually getting recycled?
Yes, he has to do it in really, really large shipments for it to be worthwhile.
So he's stocking them up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, but he gets lots of money from all the metal, gets lots of money for cardboard. That's why it's cardboard week every other week.
Yeah, I wondered about that.
yeah.
But they don't have metal enough. Like I have a cat and I go through a lot of metal.
Well, because most of the metal that they're getting is been picked through.
Hmm.
He was like, there's no way that everyone in the city of Jamestown is only throwing away like this much metal. So, because metal's worth so much.
They could probably take it to the scrapyard and get
Yep.
money.
They're like, the stuff we actually get for metal days he's like, nothing. If like the consistency of what every other stream is, then metals is like here.
Yeah.
So he's like, I think people just pick it through before the trucks get there, because metal's worth a lot. So
Wow.
And paper, they do something real with paper? 'Cause
Yes.
at one point,
Oh,
I think
yeah.
they were shredding it for horses or something like
that's
that.
crazy talk.
I know.
Wow. No, he said that they were recycling it. They sent it down to Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a paper facility down there. Yeah. It's not to end it on a doom and gloom. So.
I know.
But
This-
not every jurisdiction is perfect, and it just takes a couple of people who are passionate to come in and light a fire, and not a fit in the real one, and get things changed.
Yeah, I think the BPU needs a little bit of at least if they're saying that the streets are dirty, like I have not seen any education on recycling from them in a long
Yeah.
time.
I
So
know, that's why I'm like, hi. I live
I-
here
I've
now.
learned-
I can come and help.
Yeah, I've learned more today than I think I ever have
Yeah.
about recycling. So this
Hey.
really has been wonderful.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
Very good, very good.
Good. And then also to plug my work, I brought a thing about volunteering for Chautauqua Watershed Conservancy. We're always looking for volunteers to become preserve stewards, which basically you're like in charge of an entire preserve of ours. So some of them range from 100 acres to like 10 acres.
Wow.
We're also looking for trail adopters, which basically if you find a trail on one of our preserves that you really like, you can like be like, this is my trail now.
Wow.
And you just walk it and like make sure that there's no sticks or, you know, like fallen trees on it, and, you know, pick up as much as you can without getting hurt or whatever. And then if there is anything like vandalism or kids are cutting trees down or whatever, deer stands in it, you can contact the steward or me and be like, hey, my trail's got some stuff up with it.
Kathy, that sounds great for
It
self-advocates.
does, yeah.
Yeah, is there any way I could get some information on that? We'll run a self-advocacy group, so.
So you should ask.
Send it over.
I came prepared. Yes, but then we're also, you know, always looking for people who want to demonstrate buffer gardens or do garden maintenance, which basically you can go and like pull weeds or plant plants if, you know, they need it, and office building and ground maintenance like mowing and stuff like that. So
All sounds good.
we're always looking for awesome volunteers that want to be outside. So, and I also brought my business cards and all of this information. And then a bunch of stuff about composting, because it's my passion in life. Vermicomposting.
So if anybody wants to,
Well,
you know,
and
get their,
everyone who's on the call, you could probably scan it and email to it.
Oh yeah, I have all these,
you got digitals?
yeah, I printed them all.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I can just send you.
I have a question. Is your contact information on there? We're looking for speakers for our self-advocacy group, so maybe you might like to
Oh,
come
look
and
at
speak.
that.
I would love to.
Wow.
Yes. I also brought some of my business cards, so.
I was
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks,
My
Marcia.
merchant. Okay. So, any other questions at all?
And if anybody
you.
thinks of any questions
Yeah.
between now and later, you can just let me know and I can pass it on to Bethany. So
Perfect.
So just email you about the like buffer gardens and stuff like that, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so I'm the land specialist with the Chautauqua Watershed Conservancy, so I'm in charge of all of the volunteers that do any work on the preserves as well as all the stewards. So I would be your direct contact for that. So absolutely.
Okay.
I'm leaving business cards, and you guys can get my contact information from Jonathan, but my email is just Bethany@ChautauquaWatershed.org. So it's just my name.
easy peasy.
Any other questions?
No, thank you. It was very interesting.
This really was. It's been wonderful.
Good, I'm
Thank
so
you.
happy.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks so
you.
much for joining
All right,
me.
guys. Thanks for